You are now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Let's get it.
At Tanagra, when the walls fell, this is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, per usual, Jason. How you doing today?
Good. We talked about trying to do the show backwards,
Yes.
like the movie Memento.
Turns out
You can't do it backwards.
it's impossible to say how one could do it backwards. We do usually hit our stride. So maybe we'll just encourage the listener to watch it backwards. So go to like the last 10 minutes of the show,
And then
watch
rewind
that, and then go back from
10
the beginning.
minutes at a time.
Yeah, I guess, until you've hit what you know, and then just go back 10 more minutes. That's a good idea, if it's not too much work.
Well, in the editing world, I could edit that way,
Well,
clip it out, and put it
listen.
backward. I'm not doing that.
That's not happening.
Literally, when we're done, we send it.
Yeah. I
mean-
mean, it's just like send, done, send, done. That's it. My good friend and I, Matt Neff, used to have a podcast. And it was 99 Lives podcast.
3 weeks editing.
Oh, just so much time just laboring over
Everything.
every little detail, taking out all little, you know what I mean, little things like that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was a quality product.
Yeah.
But it made it, I don't know, 10% better,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, if it was really good to begin with, that's pretty good.
I guess.
If it was really crappy, 10% is not that
And
much.
maybe his way is the better way. I'm not going to say whether it is or it isn't, but what I know is that's just not the way we do it.
No.
We just, whatever we say, we say.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Matt and I would say things, and he's like, I don't think we should, I don't want that out there. I'm going to cut that whole thing when
Yeah.
we talked about that.
Well, I was on a guest one time.
Yeah, and your whole goal was to make Matt as uncomfortable as possible, so he'd have to literally cut out the entire
mission
episode.
accomplished. We recorded 90 minutes. It was like a 60-minute show.
Yeah.
He cut 30 minutes of it.
And he cut out the best 30 minutes,
Yes.
too. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
We had a whole thing on Tetris.
There's a whole Tetris thing. We're not going to get into it now. It was PG-13,
Yeah.
but it had gone over anybody's head that didn't know. Yeah.
We're just having fun with it.
It wasn't, like, dirty.
No. It was pretty clean.
Matt didn't appreciate it.
He did not.
Yeah. So, for whatever reason, our best 10 minutes is the last 10 minutes. So I'm sure it's going to be great. So if you'll just bear with us.
What if we only did a 10-minute show?
I thought about that. I've been thinking a lot about
Then
that.
that would just
lately.
be the best 10 minutes, period.
Yeah, we could just the best 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we could just tell people we've recorded for 5 hours and we
this is
gave
the
you the
best
best
10,
10 minutes.
yeah.
And they were like, this is the best 10?
Jeez.
So, man. But we assume those of you who listen and or watch like what we're doing because it seems like you keep on listening and or watching.
Things
So,
are growing. We're getting more and more listeners.
every day.
More subscribers, more downloads, more shares, more likes.
all of that
stuff.
stuff. So if you want to, on the YouTube page, if you want to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, tell a friend, tell your neighbors, tell your garbage man.
Yeah.
Do you have a better relationship with your garbage man or your mailman?
Mailman?
I feel really bad. Eric and I had a really long discussion about how this year, because we felt bad for our mailman because of COVID and all this stuff,
Yeah.
we were going to buy him a Christmas present. And
But you left the garbage man
We just
out.
didn't. No, we didn't buy the mailman anything. We had this long discussion about how we were going to get him a gift card at Dunkin' Donuts or something. Hey, you've been working hard this year. Lots more things happening for you.
We don't have the same mailman every time.
We have the same mailman like 90% of the time. I
Ours
would say.
changes weekly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have a relationship with ours, and he likes our dog. I mean, I don't know the guy's name, but
Well, in the summertime, I'll sit on the front porch. Our mail usually shows up around 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So I can, sit out there with the dog and get the mail. Yeah, hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Our garbage comes at 6 in the morning. I never see those guys.
Yeah.
And Stella's supposed to take the trash out, so I say supposed to.
Yeah.
Happens about once a month.
Yeah.
Unless I make her.
And then you have a big garbage day once.
Then we
a
have
month.
a big garbage day. Yeah. Those are the ones those garbage. They hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. One thing about
Turns out 5 kids can make a lot of trash.
A lot of trash.
Yeah.
One thing that I love, and we record in Marion. That's where we live, Marion, Ohio.
Yeah.
Great garbage guys in Marion. They'll take anything. You put anything out there, they'll take it. You know that? I mean, there's nothing that I've ever put out that they didn't take.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's great.
And it doesn't even have to be bagged.
No, it doesn't have to be bagged.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it is, they'll take it.
I lived
they
in
might
one,
not like it, but they will take it.
One of the places I lived, I can't remember where it was. The rule was, if they're going to take it, it has to be in a bag.
And that's an understandable rule.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to be hauling away,
of course.
All sorts of...
They don't do that here. They'll take anything. I remember when I was a kid.
I left Teddy out there once. And...
Yeah, whoa. I remember when I was a kid, I was probably 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
And there was a kid that was like 13, 14. Maybe he was a little bit older than that. He must have been. So maybe I was 10 and he was like 16.
Yeah.
And he dropped out of school in Prospect, Ohio, a little town, and became a garbage man.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking that it was
the
the most glorious thing I'd ever seen. He's riding on the back of a truck, which who doesn't want to do that?
No, that's
hanging off the
fantastic.
back of the truck.
Yeah.
He's not going to school.
No.
He doesn't have to go to school, and he's getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
It was like, how do I sign up for that? He was my hero.
Yeah.
And then got a little bit older, and I thought, you know what? Things probably weren't going so well for him in life, that's the situation that he came up against.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's smarter than any of us and said, you know what, here's the thing. I'm not an academic. I'm not going to do this stuff for the rest of my life. Better for me to start working for the city now and retire when I'm like 36.
Well, I know a guy that owns a garbage company, owns his own trucks and his own, and he does pretty well.
It's not a bad way to make a living.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody's different.
That's true.
Some people like to work with their hands.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those guys.
No. I got I don't know if you can see this, but I got a burn mark on my finger. I don't know, Stella. I don't think anybody really wants to see that.
Well, do you see that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got it pinched. Yeah. Well, here's my problem is...
Nobody cares about your pinch.
No, listen. It won't read my fingerprint on anything.
Oh, that is a problem.
So I go to unlock it.
Do you do the left finger?
I do both. I do everything. I register all of my fingers.
My right thumb and my left thumb. I think that's all I got.
I do thumbs. I also do forefingers. Because if I'm eating a sandwich, I want to be able to...
Abby did her nose.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. So she can she can unlock her phone with her nose.
I didn't think about that, but that's pretty useful.
Listen. It can come in. It's like if
toe?
somebody else is like, if you've got something in your hands and somebody has your phone and you're like, oh, could you, just.
Did she come up with that on her own?
I think so.
That's pretty smart.
It is pretty smart. Well, anyway, what was I going to say? Garbage man.
Your finger.
My finger. Yeah, I burnt it the other day on the oven. Right in the crease. Right where it goes.
Oh, yeah.
And it keeps on getting worse. Like it's
Put
not like
Neosporin
infected or anything. I did all of that, but it's because it's in a spot that just will never let it heal.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how much you use that little spot in your finger.
If you taped it up.
Yeah, I know, but then it gets, I don't know. I keep on thinking I don't need to do that anymore, and it really hurts.
It gets soggy.
It really hurts.
Do you have anything else?
I got nothing.
Okay. What is your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is we were living, those of you watching, most of you won't know what I'm talking about, but we were living in Prospect, Ohio.
Yeah.
At the house that had the eagle on the front.
Yeah.
Okay? You know what I'm talking
The
about?
blue house?
The white house.
Blue and gray?
No, it was a white house with like an eagle on the front. That's the one that it was our last house in Prospect. Whatever that was.
That was blue.
Okay, that's fine. I don't remember that, but
I remember that very vividly.
I remember my earliest memory is I was coming downstairs and Mom and Dad were in the living room and there were a couple other guys that I didn't know there, like sitting in the living room talking to them. And I was coming down the stairs and I was like looking at them and they're like, oh, go back up. And I was probably supposed to be taking a nap or something.
Yeah.
That is my earliest memory.
And you don't know who these people were or what they were talking about?
No, I have no idea. But it seemed important. If my memory serves, and it probably doesn't, they were wearing suits.
Oh. Probably like Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One can hope. I don't know. That's my earliest. It's not exciting, but that's my earliest memory.
My earliest memory, I was 2 years old.
That's ridiculous.
And
you don't remember being 2.
No, I do. And I had a 3-wheeler bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the basement in Iowa. I was born in Iowa before we moved here.
As was I.
And the washer and dryer was under the stairs. I remember the basement very well. The washer and dryer was under the stairs, and I'd ride my bike in a circle in the basement. I remember riding that bike. Mom's doing the laundry, and I'm riding a bike in the basement. So, and then I have to fast forward like 3 years before my next memory.
Really?
Yeah.
But you just have that one ingrained.
At 2 years old, I just remember that. It was such. I don't know why I remember that. I don't
I
know
remember
why
in
anything
Prospect the first time I peed standing up.
outside facing the road.
It was a big deal. I
Yeah.
was very excited. I was probably just maybe coming off of diapers or something. I don't know.
You were naked a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, we'd get calls from the neighbors. That's why we had to move to the country.
So I could be free and naked.
Free and naked. Because they did not care for that in town.
Hey.
I mean, at age 2, it's cute. At age 7, it's like,
It's a little
come
much.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. I
Put
know
some
what I like.
clothes on.
Well, we moved to that house, I think, when I was 4. So
Yeah. Well, that's why we had to move, because they were anticipating.
this is not
Like,
getting
this kid
better.
is not putting
We have
on
plenty of
clothes.
other stuff to work on before we get to the naked thing. I don't think we're going to get to that for at least 3 or 4 years. So let's
Yeah.
just move to the country.
My son, Gus, we don't deal a whole lot with the nakedness in the house, but Gus instantly gets down to his underwear. No matter, like, I mean, it could be 0 degrees. We come home, like, everybody's putting away backpacks and whatever, and then all of a sudden, it's like, Gus is in his underwear.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? Just always.
Hey.
Always.
You know, when you're comfortable in your own skin,
He is.
you got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Me and Gus.
So then I taught him the phrase, I see London, I see France.
I see Gus's underpants. That's quality parenting right
He
there.
likes it.
I think I would imagine you would.
Yeah. My next memory is when I'm 5 years old. And I remember sitting in the floor of the same house you were talking about. It was
Yes.
Blue House in Prospect. And the cable guy shows up.
Yes.
And the cable guy is installing cable TV, which we only had for like 6 months before we moved.
Out of town. We moved out in the country.
And
didn't
there
have
was
it
no
anymore.
cable out
Yeah.
there. So I remember for the 6 months we had cable, I remember him plugging in the cable and turning on the TV. And the first thing that popped up was Star Wars New Hope.
Really?
The robots, C-3PO and R2-D2, are
Yeah.
in the desert.
Wow.
So it wasn't quite opening scene. They had, I mean, I've seen it since, obviously, but they had just exited the thing on the
Yeah. The escape pod.
escape pod, and they're going through the desert. So when he turns on the TV, these 2 robots are going through. I'd never seen Star Wars. I don't know any of this
Wow.
stuff. And I sat there and I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, you did.
And that was the beginning of my sci-fi.
I don't remember the first time I saw Star Wars. I just
Really?
know that I've seen it.
Yeah. What's your first thing? My first thing was your earliest. Stella, what's your earliest memory?
I'm not sure what the earliest is because I have a lot of just like little memories.
Yeah. You were a strange child.
Yeah, it still is.
Very strange child. A lot of conversations had about Stella. She's okay, right?
My first memory
She
of
scares
Stella,
me a little bit.
And my wife made fun of me for doing this, but when she was born and I'm holding her, they hand me the baby, and her eyes were open. Half of my kids' eyes were open. Gus, like, his eyes were closed for like 3 weeks. He just did not want to open his eyes. But Stella was like wide-eyed. She's like looking around, and I took my finger right up to her face, and I go like that. I'm like, I want to see if she can see, if she's following my finger. And Shelby's like, stop it. What are you doing? Like, like, she's not going to know what you're doing. I'm like, I want to know.
Did she follow the finger?
Kind of. I mean, she's just kind of all around.
Okay.
So that's my earliest memory of Stella.
When I go to the bathroom in a public
Is this your first
restaurant, it
It's just a thing.
can be
A thing.
It doesn't have. It could be my last thing. Maybe I'm starting off with my last thing. Hopefully, when I go to the restroom in a public bathroom,
Yes.
and let's just assume that I don't have to pee. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what this means. So I walk in, and if there's somebody else there, like washing their hands or in the urinal or something like that, I won't go into the stall until that person has left the bathroom. So I will go to the urinal and even pee and really take my time washing my hands until they leave. And once the door shuts, then I'll go into the stall. What's wrong with me?
a lot.
I mean,
that particular thing. See, I would picture you just being a little bit more vocal about it. Mm-hmm. Just grabbing the bull by the horns.
like the guy at Lowe's that they said there's a bomb threat at a Lowe's. Did you see this? Did you read this? Because he went to the bathroom. He said, I'm about to blow this place up. And somebody didn't understand that term when it came to using the restroom. And they literally thought it was a bomb threat.
Well, I mean,
so they cleared out the building. And then he walks out of the bathroom like, man, I really did.
We live in sensitive times.
Yeah.
You can't say things like that anymore. It's like yelling fire in a movie theater. You can't do it.
You just can't do it.
No.
I'm about to blow this place up. I mean, it's just wonderful.
I think that's the approach. I think that's far more effective, and you create more stories out of it. Mm-hmm. Think of all the stories you could be telling about all these bathroom experiences.
All I know, is that I don't want the other person in there when I walk into the stall. What does that say about me?
You're insecure.
What is wrong with me? I'm insecure. Why is that insecure? I mean, everybody. I mean, there's what's there to be insecure about?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know
one
either.
With the insecurities.
Listen, I brought it up. You're the one that's supposed to explain to me.
You're insecure. I'm explaining this to you. And now you're insecure about being insecure.
What?
You're not confident enough.
Here's what I'll definitely never do. I'll never walk. I'll never.
Okay, wait. What if there's 2 stalls and someone's in the other stall?
I'll go in. There's no eye contact.
Just no eye contact. See, that we're getting down to it now. So if you make eye contact with someone, you see them, they see you.
Yeah, I don't want that person to know that I poop.
But if someone's already pooping in the other stall,
if it's just feet,
just feet.
Nah, I got no problem with that.
Okay.
What I'll definitely never do is if there's one stall, stand and wait for that person to come out and then go right in.
Oh, sometimes you have to.
Well, listen, obviously sometimes there are extenuating circumstances. When those circumstances are the case, if I see the feet, I'm bolting for another restroom.
Yeah.
But I'll never stand there, wait for the guy to come out. Sometimes I'll see the feet, I'll go in, I'll pretend to pee, I'll flush the urinal, wash my hands, and just walk out. And then I'll stay anywhere from, depending on the store, I'll stay anywhere from 20 to 50 feet away from the bathroom door, just kind of lurking, waiting for him to walk out.
Yeah.
And then once he walks out, then beeline straight back to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's what I do. I'm not proud of it.
The best bathroom is we were at Buffalo Wild Wings.
This is good.
You were with us.
Yeah. It's another Gus story.
It is another Gus story. So there was my 5 kids, your 3 kids. There's 8 kids. We put them at their own table.
And they were a bit younger. I mean, this is 6 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe 7?
Yeah, 6 or 7 years ago. So Gus would have been like 2 or 3. I mean, Gus was pretty small.
Yeah.
And we put all the kids at one table.
Yeah. Levi was like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stella, same age. And the adults are at the other table.
Yeah.
Because we don't, we told the waitress, I'm like, just
whatever they want.
Whatever they want. Give them what they want, drinks, whatever. And about halfway through the evening, one child, I don't even remember which was the first one to do it.
It's probably Gideon.
Comes up to our table and says, I have to use the restroom.
Right.
And so, once again, they're all still little. And so I said, that's okay. I said, and I think we had just got our food.
Yeah.
I think that was part of the problem.
Can't be dealing with
I just
this
got
now.
food. And I think you said, hey, Levi, why don't you go to the bathroom, show Gideon where the bathroom is. At which point, every kid at the table got up to go to the bathroom.
This is an adventure now.
Levi's taking everybody to go to the bathroom. So everybody goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And they come out.
And
go ahead.
And we're at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Which, if the rule of Buffalo Wild Wings is if it can hold a TV, their
TV
rule is
everywhere.
We don't want there to be 5 feet without a TV.
Right.
If there's 5 feet on a wall somewhere without a TV, we've done our jobs wrong.
There's probably, without counting, just 80 80
Yeah,
TVs
I was
there.
going to say 100. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of television.
It's a lot of TVs there. They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
And so
Literally.
they come out of the bathroom
cracking
up. I mean, rolling on the floor, laughing out loud, tears in their eyes. And Levi goes to tell the story. Levi goes to tell the story that during this whole experience in the bathroom, Gus saw some TVs mounted above the urinal.
Right, so just face level, so you don't have to miss a second of the game. While you're peeing, you can watch the game.
Gus thought this was fantastic.
Hey, this is an amazing... What a world we live in.
And there was a guy... We don't know this guy.
No, just a dude.
A dude at one of the urinals.
Using said urinal.
Using the urinal. Gus slaps him on the butt and says, "Hey, mister, there's TVs right there."
Yeah.
Like an old Newsies, 1920.
Well, we turned it into that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how he said it. And so, they come out busting up laughing. And, I feel bad for the guy, because I'm sure that it's like, why are all these kids here?
Children
of the corn.
Children into
slapping me on the butt while I'm trying to pee.
Hey!
There's TVs.
There's TVs.
Look, TVs.
Like you staring right at it. It's like literally 2 seconds.
Kid,
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like...
If you're in a bathroom and some kid slaps you on the butt and says, "Hey, there's TVs right there."
I'm getting out of there. I don't need to be in here right now. That's what I say.
Yeah. I love that story. I tell it to Gus.
He was so excited.
Oh, he was.
He was just thrilled. I mean, he had good information and he wanted to share it.
Yeah.
Hey,
mister.
This is a shared human
There's
experience.
TVs right there.
Can you believe it? Unbelievable.
I think I'll bring my food in here and eat it and watch TV.
Yeah.
There's a TV.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Okay, so I was listening to a program the other day.
Yeah.
And they got me messed up on numbers. I'm a math guy. You're not.
No. I avoid it at all costs.
I know you do. So if you have -1.
Well, that's impossible. You can't have negative something. I mean, if you have it, it's something. It's not nothing or less than
This is the problem.
Nothing.
Okay? So on a piece of paper, -1.
Got it.
Add 1 to it. What do you have?
0.
0. Let's say you have -1 cans of Mountain Dew.
Got it.
I give you a can of Mountain Dew. How many do you have?
Wow. Well, I mean, I suppose it depends on the way you're thinking about it. I mean, tallying. If I've tallied.
Okay, if you have -2 cans of Mountain Dew.
Well, that's the problem. Is you can't
and
have.
I give you 3 Mountain Dews.
How
many do you have?
I don't have negative cans of Mountain Dew. I just have.
Do you have
nothing.
a can of Mountain Dew?
I have 0. Is the
Do you want a can of Mountain Dew?
0 is the least amount of cans of Mountain Dew I can have. I can't have negative cans of Mountain Dew. I can lose them, but though I no longer have them anymore. I don't have negative cans of Mountain Dew. I only have 0 or more than 0.
You could have negative money.
Well, yes, you can be in debt. And if I'm
Your bank
$10 in debt and you give me $10, then I'm back to 0 if I pay the person that I owe.
Yeah. Just saying numbers are not what you think they are.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
That blew my mind.
I mean, I don't think it's... I understand what you're saying.
I don't have a can of Mountain Dew right now. I'm -1 can of Mountain Dew.
No, you have 0.
No, I have -1 cans of Mountain Dew.
You don't have -1 cans of Mountain Dew.
I don't have one.
You have no cans. Yes, 0.
But I want a can.
Then you would have 1 because 0
But
plus
I don't.
1 is 1.
I want one.
Yes.
I don't have one.
Yes. There's
Therefore,
a need for
But
Mountain
0
Dew.
would imply that I don't even want a can of Mountain Dew.
No,
I don't
it
have
doesn't
one.
imply
I don't want
that.
one. The moment
No.
I say I want a can of Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Now
there's
I'm
a desire.
-1.
No, you're not.
I want a whole case of
So what are
Mountain
you
Dew.
implying? That I would give you Mountain Dew in that sense and it would just disappear? Because well, now I'm at 0. So could you give me another one?
Well, it doesn't make sense. I don't know if 0 actually exists.
Does 0 actually exist?
Can you have nothing?
I mean, I've tried. I mean, if anybody's come close.
The moment you desire something, then you want it. Now you don't have it.
Yes.
So it's not 0. It's not neutral. It would fall in the negative category. I want a dog. I don't have a dog. I have -1 dog. If you want 3 dogs, then you have negative 3 dogs.
No.
Someone gives you 3 dogs.
Your whole premise is messed up.
I don't think that it is.
It really is. You don't. That's the problem, is you can't have negative something. That's not possible. You either have none of it or you have it.
So I like drinking Sprite.
Last time I had a Sprite, I can't even.
I like Sprite.
I mean, I was maybe 12 years old.
So I've got so I got some Sprite in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
I tell Gus, hey, go get me a Sprite.
Okay.
Currently, I have negative 1 can of Sprite.
No, you don't.
I do,
You
because
have no cans of Sprite. You have 0 cans of Sprite.
but one's coming.
Yes.
I desire
Then
it.
you'll have
I
one.
asked for it. I don't have it. I want to be drinking it right now. It's negative 1. I can't.
Right now, we have negative Netflix suggestions of the week, and I would like to have one Netflix suggestion.
Netflix, watch these shows of those. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Or maybe Amazon Prime or something like that, like YouTube. We don't want to put a box around what you watch, so you never know.
I think that song's getting longer. I don't know how it's possible, but I think it is. So, Jason, what is your Netflix suggestion of the week?
Brought to you by your father-in-law.
Okay.
He suggested that we watch Fatman.
Oh, we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
About that we hadn't seen it.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I bought it,
Okay.
and I watched it.
Okay.
Good. I texted him as I was watching it. I said, hey, I just bought Fatman. I'm sitting down to watch it. He goes, tell me how it goes. So I had this conversation with him, back and forth a little bit. I said, my impression, having watched the whole thing, it was a B+ or 8 out of 10.
Okay.
It was good.
All right.
I don't know if it was fantastic. Here's the thing. It's Mel Gibson.
Listen.
If it wasn't Mel Gibson, it would be a 4.
Have we done the Mount Rushmore of Mel Gibson movies?
No, but we should.
I don't think we have. All right,
We'll
here we
do-
go. Real
okay.
quick.
Patriot.
Well, Braveheart's number 1.
I don't care. Patriot and Braveheart, 1 and
Okay.
2.
Lethal Weapon.
Yes. And Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Iconic. Oh, yes.
No. I hear you. I'm just saying, it just feels like we're missing something.
Signs. I mean, he's
Well,
been in
we love Signs, but I don't know that it belongs in the Mount Rushmore of Mel.
Those are the most iconic. It's Mad Max, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Mad Max is where he kind of burst on the scene.
Yeah.
So I
and
would
he
say-
played in multiple Mad Max movies.
Yeah, and Lethal Weapon too, I think is pretty iconic. So, Daddy's Home 2. There's
No.
that. Yeah, I feel like that's probably
Patriot, Braveheart, Mad
Patriot-
Max.
We Were Soldiers is actually pretty good. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy. That's a good movie.
What is the 4th?
We said Patriot, Braveheart, Mad Max, and
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
That feels pretty good to me.
Yeah.
He was in Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Hamlet. No?
No.
Yeah, I guess it thins out after that. You would have thought he'd have more. You were a big fan of Maverick,
Maverick was fantastic,
but not
not the Mount Rushmore.
Ransom. Give me back my son. That's pretty good.
I don't know if I've seen that. I don't know if I've seen it.
So Fatman,
Fatman.
and you approve of it
I approve. Not little kid friendly.
because it's bloody.
It actually wasn't very bloody at all. It had some language in it.
So
So I watched it with my older 2, and it was fine for them.
okay.
I would not watch it with my youngest
Yeah.
couple. But there's a scene at the very end where an assassin comes to kill Santa Claus, is the storyline. And Mel Gibson, who is Santa Claus, has this block of wood. And he runs up and smacks this guy in the face with it. And it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
There's this whole scene, where he knows he's coming. you think you're the first? You know, and he's yelling. They're yelling back and forth, and the whole movie's worth that one scene.
That scene in Patriot after his son dies, the younger son, and he chases down those dudes, and he tells his two other sons,
aim small, miss small.
Oh my gosh, that is an incredible scene, and Heath Ledger's like just like watching it all happen.
Yeah,
that scene is nuts.
The whole movie's worth that one scene.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Aim small, miss small.
That's a great movie. All right, well, speaking of language in a movie, so
Wolf of Wall Street.
Not seen it.
Broke the record for F-bombs in a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for them.
It's like 800 times. I don't know. I've never seen it.
Once you said it 10 times, it means nothing. I mean, really, once you said it 5 times, it means nothing. It's just a filler word.
I agree.
The most effective way to say the F word, now listen, if I was making a movie, would I put the F word in it? No, I probably wouldn't. I'm just going to say that right now. But if you're bound to determine, like, I want to use the F word, the most effective way
is to have a 4-year-old say it.
Well, yes, there's that. But it's to only use it once.
Yeah.
And about at least past halfway through the movie. Yes. You have to have settled into a movie that has no cussing.
Yeah.
That's just like, okay, maybe they say, like, borderline cuss words or whatever, but this is a pretty, and then you get about 3/4 through the movie and somebody drops the F-bomb, it's actually very effective. It's like, but once you've heard it twice or 3 times in the first minute or two, it's like, okay, it just loses its meaning and it doesn't mean anything. It's lazy writing. You heard it.
Yeah.
Here first.
Comedians the same.
Oh, it's the same with comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a filler word. Yeah. The job of a comedian is to try to surprise the person that he is talking to. I was going to say he or she, but who are we kidding? So is to surprise who he's talking to.
The audience.
Right? Catch them off guard.
Right.
Shock them on some level. And if Brian Regan or Jerry Seinfeld dropped the F-bomb in the middle of their show, it would have that effect.
Yeah.
But then it would lose its effect.
Right.
So then you couldn't keep on doing it.
Right.
And so then they just try to add it on and make things dirtier and nastier. And they stop being funny. Yeah. And they just start making people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going, listen, if I want to feel uncomfortable, I'll just live my life. I just, I live in a state of feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember the last time I was in clothes that made me feel comfortable. Every single time I put clothes on, I'm like, just
every time you go in a public
let
restroom,
them stretch out. I feel uncomfortable in public restrooms. I feel uncomfortable now
with the shopping cart
or the shop. That's a whole thing. Yeah. I just feel very uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah,
I don't need a comedian. I need a comedian to make me feel happy.
See, I feel overly comfortable.
Yeah, you have the opposite problem. Yeah. Too comfortable.
I'm too comfortable.
Yeah, you should actually tighten up a little bit.
I have plus comfortability. You have negative comfortability.
Well, speaking of cursing or bad language in a movie, I think it was last night, the kids said that they wanted to watch something. And so I suggested, 2 nights ago, I saw on Disney Plus, they were scrolling through stuff. And Wes Anderson? You know who he is? Okay. He's done 2 of those Claymation movies. So one is The Isle of the Dogs.
Okay.
Claymation, it's like the voices are like Bill Murray and Owen Wilson and there are these dogs that are on this trash island, and this kid comes on the island. It's this whole thing. It's claymation, and feels very Wes Anderson. If you know Wes Anderson, it feels like a Wes Anderson movie. And they liked it. And then I told them the next night, I was like, if you liked that, I like Fantastic Mr. Fox even better, which is a Wes Anderson movie. Have you seen it?
Nah,
it's on Disney Plus, so you can watch it. And it's claymation starring George Clooney as the Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then there's some other Bill Murray, some other guys that are in a lot of Wes Anderson movies. Yeah. And it's about a fox who catches chickens for a living, and then his wife is pregnant, and she says, I don't want you to do this anymore. So he starts writing for a newspaper column, and instead of catching chickens for a living because it's dangerous, and then he gets sucked back into it, and that's what the movie is about. And it's about his relationship with his son and that sort of thing. And it's a pretty good movie. I really liked it. But one of the great things about the movie is to get around the whole bad language thing, so that I think it's PG. It's got to be a PG movie. They say cuss. So what the cuss do you? what the cuss did you just say to me? Listen
Yeah.
here, you little cusser, you know?
Yeah.
And so they just use the word cuss intermittently, and it's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
We've been doing it around the house nonstop. It's really great. Who the cuss do you think you're talking to? What the cuss did you just say to me? It's a lot of fun. And the stupid thing is that in many ways, that's no different
It's no different.
than
It's just a word.
the actual
Yeah.
word. It's just a different 4 letters.
Yeah.
And so, but they could do that, and then all of a sudden, instead of, if they would have used the F word,
Your kids are using this too.
all the time.
Okay.
Instead of if the Fantastic Mr. Fox had
Yeah.
decided, instead of using the word cuss, if the movie hadn't changed one bit,
Right.
but instead of using the word cuss, they would have used the F word, it would have been an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
But instead, they substituted the word cuss, and it's PG. It skips PG-13 all the way to PG.
Yeah.
It's
See,
hilarious. It's stupid. I don't know. Maybe
Battlestar
it's not.
Galactica. Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was frack. Right? That was their word.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But here's the thing. Watching it, I love Battlestar Galactica.
I could never quite completely get into it.
I
Something
loved
about
it.
it was just, I don't know.
But when they said that word, it felt intense. It felt real, but it's not the word.
Yeah.
The mother of all words. And and so, like, I don't mind watching it with the kids around and stuff like that because, I just don't want them exposed to all that.
Sure.
So,
Well, anyway, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, it is on Disney Plus, and it's great. It's, like I said, it's very kind of Wes Anderson, so it's pretty dry. The movie, it's a bit pretentious, the way Wes Anderson movies are. This movie seems to like itself quite a bit, have a pretty high opinion of itself. It's very artistic, but I like it a lot. I would highly suggest that anybody watch The Fantastic Mr. Fox, starring George Clooney, Meryl Streep, and some other people.
okay.
It's a Wes Anderson movie. And then my book suggestion, because I've been doing this lately, my book suggestion of the week is, I'm only about 100 pages into this, but it's a 700-page book, so I'm not going to be done with it for a while. But I started reading A History of Wales. We're Welsh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Oh, I
told.
thought you were talking about like fish whales.
No, the country.
The country.
So we're supposed to be Welsh. That's what was told me,
Yeah.
and that's what I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe we aren't.
I think
Who
we're
knows?
half.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah, we're not full Welsh. We're probably a tiny bit Welsh.
Yeah.
Probably
like 2%.
Owings might be able to trade, but we're a lot more than Owings.
Yeah.
So, but for whatever reason, I said, well, I don't know a ton about Welsh history.
Yeah.
I saw this book, put it on my Amazon book list, and Erica's parents, in looking for a Christmas present for me,
Bought it for you.
Erica told them about my Amazon book wish list,
Yeah.
so they bought that for me. It's like I said, 700 pages. So I'm like just post Arthur. I'm like into like year about 800
Okay.
AD, and it's interesting. The first bit is there's a lot that they don't know. Some of it can feel pretty dry, but there's a lot that's kind of interesting. If you're into that sort of thing, it's pretty good. I hope to learn more about Wales. I never quite understood the way that Wales associated with Britain, to be honest with you. It's like its own thing, but it's not its own thing.
Yeah.
In a way that's like kind of different than Ireland and Scotland. Ireland is interesting. One of the reasons that Ireland's
a whole different island.
unique. Yeah, it's its own island.
Yeah.
So when the Romans came through and took all of Europe, well, they made it all the way to
Yeah.
Britain. They took the whole the island of Britain, but they didn't go up to Ireland.
Yeah.
So Ireland maintained its like Celtic or Celtic, however you say it, heritage
Right.
in a way that, because that whole Celtic tribe or whatever was not only just through England, but all the way into German areas and all that. I mean, it was a huge kind of push. And then the Romans overtook it, but in Ireland it stayed the same. So Ireland maintained a lot of its individuality in a way that the others didn't. A lot of Roman influence all over Britain in the earlier years. And so it made me, I think when I'm done with this one, I think I'm going to find like a comprehensive Irish history book, because now I'm interested in that too. But anyway, my book suggestion is A History of Wales. I mean, it's not like a biggest page turner. It takes a long time to read because there's it's a slow read. It's not, you don't just fly through it.
Yeah.
So that's my book suggestion of the week.
The book that I'm currently going through is called Mint Condition.
And by going through, you mean?
Audio. I didn't say read.
I know. I just wanted to point it out. I mean,
you think I'm stupid?
No,
are you trying to say I'm
just
stupid?
chose to use the word going through. You could have said the book that I'm listening to, but you chose the word going through.
I'm insecure. I don't want people to know that I don't read. I do read.
The book that I'm going through could just be like, that's
like flipping through the pages.
Just kind of like I'm, just kind of going through it.
Mint condition. It's on Audible. You can listen to it. I'm sure it's a real book that you can read too.
Well, I don't know. Who knows nowadays?
Yeah, could be anything. But it's talking about baseball cards.
After this, I got a podcast suggestion for you because I know you listen to a lot of that kind of stuff. You're gonna like this one.
Okay.
But continue. The book that's
it's about baseball cards.
It's called Mint Condition.
Mint Condition. I'm halfway through. It's interesting. The guy that's writing it or reading it, as I listen to it,
narrating it,
whatever. I don't know.
I mean, you could be reading something silently.
That's true.
So
I don't
he's
know.
not reading. I mean,
He's
yes, he is reading
stop.
it, but
he's
ultimately
about our
he's
age.
The narrator. Is the author the narrator?
I think so.
Do you like it when the author's the narrator?
It depends.
Yeah.
It's both ways. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes not so much.
David McCullough. If you
Okay.
can get a David McCullough book, he's the narrator. He's also the narrator of one or two Ken Burns documentaries. He's got a great voice.
The worst
narrator
I've come to up until this point.
Malcolm Gladwell.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
it's bad.
What did she narrate?
Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's probably in a rush. She didn't take her time. I heard Reese Witherspoon do, I think, To Kill a Mockingbird. I think, and that was okay.
You know who the best is?
Simon Vance.
Simon Vance is good.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Curry.
What did he do?
Tim Curry has done a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard.
He's fantastic.
Tim Curry.
He is fantastic.
I like an audiobook. I'm re-listening to Lord of the Rings. I just made it to the Two Towers. Peter.
Do you own Two
Inglis.
Towers?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I can find a way to give it to you.
Yeah, we might
try.
need to do that later. Yeah.
But I started listening to the Two Towers now. I'm about 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
But that's my kind of standard. Before you got here, I was listening to it. I just always kind of have it going.
On the Ohio Digital Library.
Yes.
I just downloaded Dune.
You did?
Yeah.
Is it narrated by Simon Vance?
It is.
Okay.
So
he's great.
I haven't started. It's like a 40-hour listen.
It's a commitment.
Yeah, I haven't started yet.
I would suggest that you listen to it in as short amount of time as possible.
Yeah.
Like really get into it.
Lots of cities and places and planets and
That's
people.
why you can't have too many
Right.
distance between listening to it.
Yeah.
Because you have to really just get into that rhythm.
I was really kind of hoping. I got a message
Duncan, Idaho. You're gonna like that.
I got a message from our mutual friend Shoeless Joe. He's got the COVID.
Really?
He does. Yeah.
Sorry, it was nice to know you. But
So
you're probably it's like 50-50 that you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
Joe, you should have been more careful. Have you been wearing a mask everywhere you go?
Stop.
Try wearing two. I hear it's
Stop.
better.
Okay.
I
listen,
went to get my oil changed today.
We're gonna
at
be
Jiffy
banned
Lube.
off of every.
I went to
thing
get my
now.
oil changed at
Yes.
Jiffy Lube today.
Uh-huh.
You know Jiffy Lube?
Yeah.
You pull in.
Yeah.
You stay in your car. They change your oil. Ba-ba, ba-doop, ba-doop. So he comes outside, and they open up the big thing,
Yeah.
and he goes, I'm going to need you to put your mask on before you pull into the garage.
I'll just leave my window up. It's fine.
And I was like, but I'm staying in my car, right? Because I
Yeah.
thought, well, I guess,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you're staying in the car. And he goes, in fact, I need everyone in the car because my kids were in the back. I need everyone in the car to have a mask on. And I've never asked anybody this before.
Yeah.
But I was like, are you serious? Like, I wasn't being irate.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
It just
I just
caught you
thought
off guard.
you have to
Yeah.
be like, this can't be real.
Yeah.
You got to be joking. He's like, nope, you got to do it. I'm like, but I'm going to stay in my car, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
staying in my car, and you still want me to wear this? Yep. All right. Anyway,
You
Shoeless
complied.
Joe, you probably.
complied. Did you comply?
I complied. I
Sheep.
didn't want him to spit in my engine. Joe, why didn't you wear a mask?
Stop.
If you
So
would have worn
Joe
a mask, it'd have
was
been fine.
asking.
Obviously, it protects you.
Listen,
or
we have
protects
mutual
other
friends
people.
who have already
I don't
defriended
know.
me because of all of this.
Really?
Yes.
Names.
I'm not going to say.
Anybody? Wait a minute. Anybody that's ever been on the show?
I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. It hurts.
When you're defriended?
Yeah. I've been defriended and blocked many times. I'm not evil or mean. I don't understand.
You're not evil.
So, Shoeless Joe was asking for some suggestions.
To spend the time.
Spend the time.
I don't know, Joe. Like, make yourself a better person. You know, like learn to do something that's like valuable for society.
Yeah, So
learn an instrument. Read a book.
Well, I think he was specifically talking about things to watch.
See, this is your problem, Joe. If you were a better human being, you probably wouldn't have contracted it.
Yeah. So I suggested to him.
I'll bet he voted for Trump. Somehow that's related.
I did.
What?
Yeah. Get kicked off of every platform we're on. So I suggested a bunch of things.
Uh-huh.
And most of which I've already suggested on the shows. So it's really not going over.
Well, what's your what is your like all-time favorite binge experience? You know what I'm saying? Like at some point where it just hits you at a point in your life where you actually had the time to binge it and then you did.
There's 3 things that we binged. Like classic. Actually 4.
24.
24 was one of them.
Yeah.
The other one was Battlestar Galactica. We binged that one. The other one was Sutherland Till I Die.
What is it?
Sunderland Till I Die.
Oh yeah, that's great
on Netflix. We got.
I thought you said Sutherland. I'm like,
no, Sutherland.
You're a big Kiefer Sutherland fan.
I might have said Sutherland.
24. Sutherland Till I Die.
And the last one was Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
We just, punched right through it. So,
I
think we binge more than you binge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say this is kind of a strange one, but there is a documentary. I don't know where you could find it, Joe, but it is about the city of New York. It's by Rick Burns, not Ken Burns, his brother.
Okay.
Yeah. His name's Rick Burns.
Same style.
Exact same style. Yeah. Feels like a Ken Burns documentary.
Yeah.
And it's about the history of New York City from the very beginning, leading all the way to, I think it ends around like just post 9/11. And it is really good. It's very long. It's like 10 episodes, I think. It's very long.
PBS?
Yeah, it's a PBS documentary. It's on New York. It's like a history of New York or something like that. You'll know it when you see it. But Rick Burns, that's a very good binger right there. It made me want to go to New York City and just hang out. But I don't want to go to New York City now, but I did for a while there.
Okay.
We were just going to talk about something.
I'm going to say something else. Do you have something?
Oh, I was going to give you my suggestion really quickly.
For what?
For podcast.
Oh.
There's a podcast. It is a drama, and it's called, this is what it looks like, From Now. Okay. It's a science fiction drama.
I like that.
It's done very well. Yeah. So
it's like good
multiple voices.
Yeah.
There's sound effects.
Dramatized.
There's music. Yeah. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. It's very dramatic. Anyway, it's called From Now.
Okay.
It's futuristic. It's got twists and turns. It's got Brian Cox, isn't it? Actually, it's happening like now. So the 5th episode just dropped. So there's only 5. Each one's anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
The actors in it, Brian Cox plays the bad guy from X-Men, like the guy that did all that stuff to Wolverine.
I don't know.
Anyway, you'd recognize it. But anyway, it's called From Now. I would encourage you to listen to it. I think you'll really like it.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Get ready for our best stuff right now.
This is it.
This is going to be good.
The whole show comes down to this.
A couple minutes left. We're going to really take off.
I'm going to read you a list of animals.
Okay.
You're going to tell me, in your mind, do you picture this animal as being a boy or a girl?
Oh, okay.
So, for instance...
No, you don't have to explain.
I mean for the audience, dog.
Boy.
Cat.
Girl.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's super easy, right? Okay, giraffe.
Boy.
Really? Okay, lion.
Boy.
Monkey.
Boy.
Tiger.
Boy.
Bear.
Boy.
Panda.
Boy.
Rhinoceros.
Boy.
Penguin.
Boy.
Gorilla.
Boy.
Cheetah.
Girl.
Elephant.
Boy.
Be careful.
Trust me.
Tortoise.
Boy.
Hippopotamus.
Boy.
Otter.
Boy.
Lemur.
Boy.
Red panda.
Girl.
Okay. Koala.
Boy. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, those two.
Polar bear.
Boy.
Leopard.
Boy.
Turtle.
Boy.
Kangaroo.
Boy.
Sloth.
Girl.
Crocodile.
Boy.
Wolf.
Boy, how long are you going to do this?
Orangutan.
Boy.
Ring-tailed lemur.
Boy.
Zebra.
Boy.
Muskrat.
Girl.
Jaguar.
Boy.
Chupacabra.
That's not a thing.
It is a thing.
I think it's asexual. I don't think
Okapi.
it has a gender. What?
Okapi.
I don't know what that is.
It's like the giraffe zebra thing.
Oh, okapi. That's a boy.
Oh, that's a boy. Snow leopard.
Boy.
Gibbon.
Boy.
Hyena.
Boy.
Bald eagle.
Boy.
Gazelle.
Girl.
Yeah, I would have said that. Yeah. Sea lion.
Boy.
Okay, good.
We're running out of time here, Jason.
Armadillo.
Boy.
Siberian tiger.
Boy.
Asian elephant.
Girl.
Okay.
The African elephant's a boy.
Yeah.
Asian elephant's a girl.
I can see it. It's a little bit smaller, you know.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I was just being honest. I wasn't
Lots
being
of boys.
dishonest.
You picture lots of animals as boys.
I guess I do. I mean, I'm a boy, so maybe I associate with them more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, all those animals have boys and girls.
Except for the chupacabra. We don't know that much about the reproductive means of the chupacabra.
There was an animal there I didn't know how to pronounce. It started with the C. That's why I said chupacabra.
Best to leave it.
I was going to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. Can I see it?
I don't know. I don't know what it is now.
Well, this is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, Bubba, sit. Good dog.
I've spoken. What is it?
I'm looking for it. I can't find it now. Scroll through there and see if I can find a C.
Cheetah?
No, I know what a cheetah is.
Oh, capybara.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
It's bat.
I know what a cheetah is.